Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Staver. This is Mondays with Mike, a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to be coached in real time by the questions that you may have. So you may not have access to me or one of our other Staver coaches or one of our Staver preferred coaches, but this is your opportunity to have real, quick, bite-sized coaching elements. Sometimes from questions you ask, sometimes from questions others ask. This is that opportunity. Let's dive into one, shall we? Number one, here we go. Mike, how do I coach a team member who's clashing with others? One of the things that I think is important about interpersonal relationships is work on the relationship as much as you work on the work. I see a lot of leaders in organizations that spend the majority of their time getting work done, but they don't really build the cultural dynamic necessary to be successful. So what I want you to think about is this: are you spending enough time working on the cultural dynamics as you are working on the work dynamics? Here's why. If you are not working as a leader on the process of helping people build good relationships through socializations, surprise lunches, team meetings where you start with wins and relationships and who needs my support, if you're not fostering those relationships on a daily basis and you're just trying to shove production down the pipeline, you're not going to be able to help with clashing personalities or clashing relationships. So that's first. Are you doing what you need to do in order to make those things happen? Second, if you are doing those things and this person's an outlier, and I have a client like this, there's a person that works there, and this person, she's in a pretty significant role. She's very hard to get along with. I have been there with her and seen her interact. She is very hard to get along with. She tends to be a little snarky, a little sarcastic. So what I shared with her boss is that what she probably needs to do, what he probably needs to do with her, is to have a direct conversation with that person about how they're showing up with their peers. Like direct. I notice, Sally, that when we're in team meetings sometimes, rather than answer a question directly, you tend to say something a little bit sarcastic or a little bit passive aggressive. Now, if you don't want to judge what they say, I notice sometimes this is what you say. How should I know? That's not my job. So what that feels like to your peers is that you're not interested in being a part of the team. And I believe you are interested. I just think you come across like you aren't sometimes. Hear how direct that is. Hear how clear that is. It's not being mean. As you've heard me say time and time again, as your coach on Mondays with Mike, speak the truth in love. Speak the truth in love. That's very, very important. Then, if that doesn't work, you got to come in and have a difficult conversation. And you've got to be able to say, you cannot continue to have these clashes with your peers. It is eroding our culture and slowing down production. So first, let's make them aware. Second, let's make a request for a change in behavior. And third, if it continues, we need to say it must change. If it doesn't change, we're going to have to make a change. See what I mean? Hope that's helpful. If you have a question or you want better results, ask better questions. And you guys ask great questions. So send me your questions at info@mikestaver.com and I will work them in. In the meantime, please follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram so that you can be a part of the community and benefit from all the other content that we provide on a weekly basis. Until next time, take care. Be kind to somebody out there. Don't clash with people.